Welcome to Analytics are for the nerds. We are entering week 244, I think, right? We've got a lot to talk about because the big game is coming up on Sunday. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Happy February. This is a great day to be alive, right? Hello? Check 1, 2. Hello?
Are you drinking now that it's February or no?
So I'm sad. Well, not sad. I'm drinking. I'm sorry, it's this size. But a nice kombucha, just a little synergy.
Okay.
So it is a big gulp in my glass. It does look like wine. So if someone is catching on the podcast later, they're like, "What a freak!" So it is kombucha. Which I guess
you're not there yet. You're not.
I have had some adult pops, and still it doesn't hit as much as it did when I was drinking daily. So dry January really works. What are you guys doing? Still drinking? Still?
I think I'm the only one drinking tonight, just because I thought now that dry January was over, you'd be on, and Ryan's a lush. He's always got a bourbon.
Yeah, I have water tonight, so
I'm
boring.
the
boring.
alcoholic to that.
That's why it's always 10:20, 3 in your house. There you go. That's or 10:12. There you go.
I did promise at some point this year I was going to change the batteries, and I just haven't. So the next season we got something to look forward to, right?
We're in here, everyone. There's so much to look forward to. We've got the big stuff happening this week, huh?
I like that you said that in the intro. I forgot to tell you guys. Like I feel like most people forget to say the big game. The big game. I don't want to get sued. We have over 100 listeners right now. We can't. If one of those work for the NFL, we could be big trouble.
Yeah, we're just calling it the game, right? We can't. I have a friend who was like, "Hey, do you want to go for a walk?" My friend Brian, he does not like sports. His husband does, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm getting ready for my podcast." And he's like, "You have a podcast?" And I was like, "All right, you're not one of our listeners." Like,
and I mean, and you don't. Well, you have a lot of friends. We don't have. I together, me and you, we don't have a lot of friends because when you add mine to yours, you have a lot. I have a few.
You have a lot of friends.
Thanks.
And Ryan has books, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a very large library, and those are my friends.
Yes, your daughter's dolls. You got a great audience.
Right. Yeah, all right behind me, and just in the dark, can't really see it.
Yeah, it looks spooky. That's cool. I like your Halloween decorations.
Right. Tis the season.
So we are gonna start a new segment since it is we're still in the season, but we're going into postseason. We are gonna do a new segment called ready for the big reveal?
Yeah.
Everything and nothing. So let's do a little pop culture. Yeah, let's bring on our guest, and he'll be our inaugural discussion. And we're going to bring on the great Chris Plumer.
Hi.
He's a very funny comic. My former walking buddy back when you lived in the neighborhood. Chris, great to see you on the podcast.
It's nice to be here, Louie. I'm right here with you. I'm drinking 6-year-old codeine right now. Because why not? Let's have some fun.
So you're having a good week too, Chris. I see. That's
the best. Every day's a gift, Allie. Sometimes it's codeine from the Trump administration.
Chris is joining us with food poisoning tonight. He's trooping it up, and because he disappoints me so often, he's sticking through this with food poisoning. So he knew this was going to be the last time that it would have pushed me over the edge.
I have let you down so many times, Lou. I should be your new dad. But I just didn't have it in my heart to let you down one more, so I made it in.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I love it.
I even pretended that my computer wouldn't work, and I'm here on my phone now.
Yeah. Also, you have
tried everything.
a stomach virus, which is kind of how like people in the Wild West died, which is like no one gets sick with that anymore. So
Yes,
nice,
I'm playing the Oregon Trail right now in real life, IRL, as the kids say.
Yeah, it's leprosy. It's like, no, I think that's just acne. But yeah, I'm happy. Thank you for joining us. So we're gonna, Chris, we're gonna do this very fun new segment. Hopefully, it's fun. Last week or the last episode, we did a sports and the Real Housewives, and we heard 0 comments about that, which I think means we should do it again. Huh? Hello. But we're gonna do a little thing that I found, some pop culture stuff, some topics that I think are interesting, sports stuff as well. So let's get to it. A very fun statement from the former Bills employee, Ken Dorsey. I don't know if you guys heard this. I'm sure you did. He quoted, I was quoted saying that Deshaun Watson is one of the premier quarterbacks in this league. And from everything I've heard about him, a really quality human being. So I'm excited about that opportunity. And just a reminder, Deshaun has over 26 women sue him. 23 have resolved their cases with confidential settlements, and 2 lawsuits remaining, and that's not good. So anyone want to talk about Deshaun's character, and then Ken Dorsey's character for being a great personality detector? Gentlemen, go.
We all want to jump in on this one.
Rock,
I
paper,
think I should go last.
Well, okay, let's jump right in.
Yeah.
If we're going to silver linings this, okay, Ken Dorsey is a positive guy. It's not all slamming your notebook in the Miami stadium. Okay, he's trying to change and be a positive guy. 26 lawsuits, and he settled 23 of them after he got that payday. He didn't nickel and dime them. He didn't drag it out. 23 out of 26, that is an incredible completion percentage that he just paid out willingly. And sure, maybe he's dragging his feet on the last few, but that's just how good he is at reading these court defenses. And that's all I've got.
Okay. Again, now we're going to put the clicker on for Ryan's law.
Well, I'm going to stay away from all that. I am going to say that I think it's mostly a throwaway comment. It was probably mostly innocent when he's saying that. Of course, what is he to say at this point, right? He's a new offensive coordinator in Cleveland. And those are the standard types of things that you would say about your quarterback if he didn't have the history that he had. So, truthfully, I mean, I think it's pretty gross still that, Deshaun everything is, you kind of just have to look past it. And, or the NFL wants you to look past it. And I think it's somewhat, what's the term? It's gratifying to see him failing, quite honestly, because I wasn't expecting that. I honestly thought he was going to return to form, and to see him not do so well, and maybe that has something to do with the off the field issues, great. So, good for, I guess, to take away what was, I think, once a really good player. So.
Follow-up question, Ryan. Do you think immediately after Dorsey was like, oh, my bad? Like, do you think that's
yeah, probably. I mean, it didn't seem like it when I watched the clip of him saying that, but yeah, he probably wishes he maybe used different words. He was never really the cleanest interview when he was with the Bills. So, these guys typically, I think, just like to be, spend less time behind a microphone and more time, in their meetings and just away from the media.
Yeah. And before Louis says anything offensive, should we just skip this? And Louis, what's your take on the Ken Dorsey?
No, I'm not. I think it's funny that, if you wrote down, hey, 10 things you shouldn't say during this press conference, in your first press conference ever. Like, number one or number two is don't call Deshaun Watson a great human being. You can say, yeah, he's a good quarterback. Yeah, you're hoping you get him back. Don't say that. Don't lead in with your first impression. But it is Cleveland. So, they probably are like, yeah, they don't give a shit. Cleveland Town City. No, they like this hire. Like, I mean, I'm on a Bet's bougie sports podcast a lot. They're out of Cleveland. Like, I was on their podcast last week. They love it. I can't wait for them to be disappointed. So yeah, he did not start off great. Nothing shocks me from Ken Dorsey though anymore. So I will just write it off as a really stupid comment and not offend anybody yet.
Okay. And I like that we started that off with a stupid comment, very bad first little press conference for Dorsey. And that was my first everything or nothing story. So I'm very excited. Kind of all right. This I think is so. Okay, I'm not going to say my opinion yet. I'm going to read it. So this was, there's a zoo that lets you name a cockroach after your ex and feed it to an animal on Valentine's Day. Have we gotten too far with trying to be like, oh, I hate my ex, like just move on? Like I think this is so dumb. I mean, the cockroach has survived basically everything. And now we're just sticking it to your ex by feeding it to a very adorable animal. I don't get the point of this, but thoughts, anyone interested in donating $5 to the zoo?
With three happily married people, I feel like this is a setup. I feel like this is a very directed question, and I'm not going to fall for it. My ex just was here helping me put my baby down. So I'm not going to name a cockroach after her and feed her to an animal. Are there some other exes I would? Yeah. For me, I'm a giver and I want the zoo to excel. So yeah, I have probably $20-$25. I could give them and bring up some names.
Cockroaches, yeah.
It's just a whole troop.
Yeah.
Each one of them has something wrong with them. Like, there's a crazy cockroach. There's one with 2 legs. All right, I'll stop talking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty lame. Great idea, I guess, to support the zoo. You want to get people there, but it seems pretty gimmicky to me, and I don't know. I mean, look, you got to move on, right? Just move on. Don't be bitter. Don't resent people, right? Just move on, and you're gonna be happier from it. So no, don't worry about feeding cockroaches. Like, if you need to do something like, cathartic or something to get a release, like, I don't know, like, it's like when your team loses like your favorite player, like in a bad way, and you burn the jersey. Like, I don't know, maybe there's like an article of clothing you just do that with instead. Seems about the same,
Yeah. All right.
So.
What is the name of this zoo so that I can look up and find out if they are advertising this as a Valentine's Day in celebration? Because this is sad. That is so sad. Just wait for Joker 2 to come out, you lonely losers. It'll be out soon enough. Give money to the zoo regardless.
Can you just imagine the line waiting for the zoo to open? It's just like 12 losers.
So much BO.
Yeah.
You think it's because you're walking by the chimpanzee house, but you aren't even close to it.
This fundraiser is called, and it's on Valentine's Day. Saint Valentine's Day. People take the saint out. What? But it's called Cry Me a Cockroach. So yeah. So take that. What is your take now of this fundraiser? It's like a marketing intern had a terrible idea. Someone accidentally said yes, and then now still not doing it, right? So,
no.
Yeah. I think they could have even probably group thought a better name than that too. It doesn't really fit, but
yeah, this and it also says you can name a roach, a rat, or a veggie after an ex, which then will be fed to the animals. So I just think that's dumb.
Wait, what are my options? Because now I'm more interested.
Yes. You give like like a carrot to like a zebra. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I guess we really had something. Yeah. So yeah, that's like a vegetable, a rat, or a cockroach.
The one that got away, like the animal won't eat the cockroach, and I'd be like, I always knew. We were meant for each other. I'm gonna call her.
Punxsutawney roach. I love it. That is a very all right. Well said. Yeah, I thought there was just come on, people, get right, be better. Speaking of Valentine's and love, there was a woman arrested after allegedly texting a man 159,000 times after only one date. The article continues and says, it said that they went on one date. This message happened for over 10 months. And hold on. She's 31 years old. Not that means anything. She said in one of her messages, quote, I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones. So sushi out of your kidneys, chopsticks out of your hand bones. Chris Plumer, is that a romantic text to send?
It's not an unromantic text.
Okay.
I mean, really, we need to know where in the 150,000 that particular one is falling. Because if we're talking in like the first 500, this is dangerous. If we're talking from like 501 to like 27,000, this sounds like a good time. Then we start getting sketchy again. But then when we're right around 100,000, it's like, this might be it. This might be the story that I'm telling my grandkids. And if it's in like the last 300, that's when I would go to the police.
Yeah. I think he went after they said the first 65,000.
What a wimp.
I know, right? Hang on. Is there any texts that are, again, this is for the people looking for love. Any texts that are like if someone sends 3 texts in a row, that's too much. Like, is that a red flag? Is there or if she or he is good looking enough, it doesn't matter?
I am literally going through it right now. So I legit and I'll tell you more of the story later because I know you're dying for it. But I legit will not, if I talk to somebody that before I meet them, I'm not if there's a 2 texts in a row rule. And that's just because I'm a fast texter. I'm a stoner. So sometimes I'll shoot something else and then I got a punchline that I got to kind of ... boom. But now I'm not talking. I don't care if the coolest thing in the world happened to me. I am not saying anything until the next time I get a text. That's
I couldn't disagree with this more. Look, number one rule in life is you just have to be yourself. Okay, so if you want to fire off those texts, you got to just be yourself. And if they vibe with you, great. If they don't, you're at least putting your truest self forward. That's what I think. So there's your Valentine's Day advice, everyone. Ooh. And secondly, about this texter, I think the real criminal in this situation is the guy that is not just blocking the number. It's 2024. I mean, Jesus, this should have ended after 10 texts. I mean, just block the number, cut off contact. It's pretty easy, and you don't have to do this. So, we don't even get this story. I mean, I guess I should be thankful to this guy, but really, he seems like an idiot.
I will say, even if I'm not interested in the person, I think you all know me enough. Like, I'd be into the attention. like someone likes me a lot. Like, I'm reading every single one of them. And the sushi one, I'm like, all right, she's just trying to figure it out. She's trying to figure out a way to tell me she loves me. It's okay. And the big question is, did they crush? If they had sex, like I could fall in love with somebody on the first date if I had sex. That's a really important question. If they did the whole kiss on the cheek and she sent in 160 and talking about making her body into sushi, okay, that's a little weird. But if they, maybe they shared an intimate moment and she's never been. Are we sure that this wasn't an episode of Love on the Spectrum? Well, all right. took me 19 minutes to say something offensive. You guys were waiting, and
there you go. He did it, everyone. Well, also it's very Army Hammer got canceled because of a few cannibalism references and some text messages. So there's an issue. Speaking of love, Louis, do we have to talk about that Valentine's mixture that we were talking about last pod?
It's so funny, and I don't know how much I know. I've seen Chris since, so I don't know what I've told him, what I haven't. But so last episode we were talking about how there was this one. I thought it was a mixer. Super wrong. It was a benefit with a singles mixer as part of it. So that was my first mistake. It was a legit formal. A formal benefit, and then a very small part of it was a singles mixer in the basement of Babeville. So I misread that. I saw the word singles. So we talked about what my strategy would be, and there wasn't good ones. 2 days. So I told you I bought the ticket because it was a good friend of mine that was running the event. 2 days before the event, I started talking to this girl on Twitter. Twitter, yeah, just Twitter DMs. I was asking her for Tinder thing. Come to find out, legit the day of the event, that she is the sister of my friend who's running the event, and she's gonna be there, working. Weird, right? So now I don't know what to do, because there's no way I'm convincing her that I had already had a ticket. She thinks I bought a ticket just because I want to meet her. Her sister, who's friends of mine, is never going to believe that I had already, or I had a ticket before I met her sister. She's going to think I only bought the ticket because I'm trying to mac on her sister. So I am all sorts of messed up here. So now I walk into what I think is going to be a singles mixer Valentine's party charity. I'm going to drop some money. I'm going to dance and flirt. I'm going to get the girl to be all like, oh shit, you can dance, right? And then I'm going to walk out, and I'm going to be cool. I took mushrooms. Don't do that. That was a really bad idea. I don't know why I took mushrooms. In my head, there was a burlesque show at the benefit. There was a lot of different entertainers, and I was like, this might be cool. I think it's a cool vibey benefit singles mixer. And I took a little too many mushrooms. This is the best part. So before it gets too bad, I walk in, I see her. I walk up to myself, officially introduce myself. Before the mushrooms get too heavy. Right away, she's like, my God, you're very attractive in person. And you can just tell it was super genuine. And the way it came out, I could just tell right. I was like, wow. And I went up, I couldn't even take that. And I went over to the corner to, trip and hide from everybody, to let her work and try to embarrass myself as little as possible. And I was just sitting there just on the biggest high because, one, the mushrooms, but two, she told me I was so attractive. And then for an hour straight, I watched her tell autistic people how good looking they were.
Oh.
It totally ruined my thought. For an hour, I just saw her leaning over and being like, why aren't you the cutest? Boop. And I was like, oh no, I don't know if mine was genuine anymore. I had customers of mine coming up to me talking about work. I ran into 3 friends of mine that had no clue that would be there. One girl came up to me and goes, hey, is your dancing wife gonna be around? And I go, we're divorced and I'm on mushrooms and I need to leave. This is the worst thing ever. So then I texted you. I left the party abruptly, went home, watched Alice in Wonderland. It was the best night I've ever spent by myself. Very good show. But then she did text in the morning. She laughed. I told her I was on mushrooms. I had one of those big cups filled with raffle tickets. And I just went up to her and I was like, you need to take these. And then I left. I was like, I'm on a lot of mushrooms. I got to go. And that's going to be I can't wait for that story to tell to our grandkids. She did pull a lucky quarter out of my ear though. So I think I'm the one that she I think we're dating now.
I think in Louis' mind, he was picturing that scene in Knocked Up when Seth Rogen goes with what's his name to that show, that Cirque du Soleil show. Like, I feel like that's what you were expecting the benefit to be like, right?
I definitely didn't think it was a benefit, but when you walked in, and the mean age was probably 52.
Ooh.
And like, yeah, it was scary. It was not where I needed to be. And then I almost made the bet, like I was going to go out elsewhere. I'm so glad I decided to come home and just watch Alice in Wonderland because it saved me. I also I threw my phone away. I didn't send any more embarrassing texts throughout the night besides yours.
Yeah.
Besides the one I sent to you, I was like, Allie, I'm in trouble, I think.
It was like rage texting emotions, and I was like, I'm what? Again, so sober. I'm like, I don't know what is this? But I'm glad you made it. There is another one coming up at the hotel Richardson, which is a singles party, which
I think I'm good. I think I'm good for a while. The girl I embarrassed myself with mushrooms doesn't hate me yet. So we got some stuff to work through.
And if you are playing our drinking game on the podcast, mushrooms has been said 42 times now by Louis, so please do not drive. All right, so that is our everything nothing with Allie segment. Let's move on. We're gonna talk sports. We're gonna talk the big game that I'm still thinking we should have been at. Chiefs versus Niners. What are we feeling, gentlemen? Ryan, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll start off. So I feel like this is somewhat of a letdown from what we could have had. And I truly don't think that this is like a Homer Buffalo thing here. Just, I really would have loved to see the Lions in the Super Bowl. If this is Lions Chiefs, I'm not complaining. If this is Niners Ravens, I'm probably not complaining. It's something different. So there's a little bit of fatigue. There's a little bit of Chiefs fatigue. There's a little bit of Taylor Swift fatigue, I think, going on. And but I can't bet against the Chiefs. I can't bet against Mahomes. It's a one-game situation. He is the best quarterback in the league. There's no question. The only thing that's tripping me up is the line being 1.5. The Chiefs are getting they're getting 1.5 points. So they want you to take the Chiefs. Vegas wants you to bet the Chiefs. And so that is making me just be like, all right, well, forget everything. You got to take the Niners. So it feels like a trap. But I'm all without the Vegas line. I'm picking the Chiefs, but with that, I feel like I'm going to throw it all out and just bet the Niners.
I like it. Chris, anything?
The Niners were always my NFC team growing up. So like I've got a soft spot in my heart from them, but I totally agree with you, Ryan. It would have been way cooler if the Lions had gotten in. Like that championship game, I wasn't rooting for the Niners over the Lions. It was one of those, like, either way this goes is kind of fun in a way. It's like the Niners have been kind of, I don't even want to say up and down this year, but in a weird way they have been. In a different way from the Chiefs. It's like the Chiefs were like, they're not the Chiefs of old. And then the Niners was like, preseason, we were sold this bill of good on the Niners that never quite got there. And here they are. So I'm probably rooting for the Niners in this, but also at the same time, I don't even know if I'm going to watch the Super Bowl this year. That's right. I said the name. Come after me, Goodell. I don't care. Edit that out. Edit that out. I'm very poor.
Yeah. we want to just make sure that Chris Plumer's fine goes directly to his house.
I'm not affiliated with Analytics Are for the Nerds. Please forgive me. It's just this season has not been entertaining. Does it feel like every team has had like a legitimate month-long gripe with the league about something? Like, be it officiating, be it just like schedulings, like it just feels like a weird, bad football season.
Yeah.
And this Super Bowl kind of reflects that.
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I mean, I'm not going to talk about this game very long because it's just like the rest of you. Like, I'm super disinterested in it. I think the Niners are a good bet. If you want my advice on who to bet on, I think I agree with you, Ryan, that just Vegas is kind of I'm sorry, I just got distracted. I can't do two things at once. But I think Vegas is trying to get them to get people on KC. I like San Fran. I want the one point that I keep on making this week is I want to remember what I saw all year. And KC kind of got hot here at the end, but for the most part this year they were not the same. And San Fran was that dominant team all year, besides a couple games and hiccups here and there. So I want to believe in that. And like I read something yesterday that like KC's like the worst against zone running. San Fran's the best zone running team in the league with McCaffrey. I think that they win pretty easily in a low scoring game. I'm San Fran and under. Take it to the bank. Okay. Luigi special Louis.
I agree.
Yep. How many millions of dollars have I won you guys so far? I know a lot.
It's going to be 27-14, 8 minutes into this game, Lou.
27-14, Casey.
I'm interested in the dramatics of the Tony versus Mahomes. Like, I think after that Bills game, he hasn't been playing. He was injured. And I just think there's something there. And I wonder if it's just going to be the same play over and over or with to Kelsey. And I don't know. I'm interested in seeing that. Oh, I'm actually not going to watch the game because that's right. My money's going elsewhere. And then just a little thing I was thinking about, does Brock Purdy look like a CW star to anyone else?
Okay.
So wait. I thought you were going to say, does he look like somebody else? You saw this move?
I saw this, and I totally you say what you saw on Twitter, and then I was like, no, it's not him, and I'll tell you why I think.
So recently on Twitter, somebody just compared Brock Purdy to John Wilkes Booth, and the resemblance I think is pretty close. Like their face structure wise, his mouth, and it really does kind of look like it. Maybe from like the eyes down, or bottom half of the base. Lou, what did it make you think of?
So I saw that post and I was like, yeah, sure. But then I really stared at it because, I'm working so much these days. And what I saw was, and I'll see if I can pull him up, but the dude from Sweet Home Alabama, the guy that plays like the best friend to Reese Witherspoon, it's like Ethan Embry. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull him up. See, but I got one with a beard. Do you know who I'm talking about? Is this the dude from
I only know Michael Martin.
Can't Hardly Wait.
Was he in Can't Hardly Wait too?
He Can't Hardly Wait?
This is perfect. I'm going to pull this up. This is good. All right, share screen. Here we go. Dude.
All right, this better be good.
That is Brock Purdy.
That's Brock Purdy. I see. Yeah.
That's you know who this dude is?
It looks. Yeah, wait a second.
Yeah, a lot of. He was in Vegas Vacation. Now that I think about it. All right. No, I just saw. I saw a resemblance, and that's it. But that's funny. A lot of people are talking about who he looks like.
We should have drafted. We should have drafted celebrities that Brock Purdy looks like. We really. Man.
It was funny that you brought up John Wilkes Booth with that, because my wife showed me one earlier tonight that was Lee Harvey Oswald. And it's still very similar. It's similar enough that you go, oh, yeah.
Wait, I think Chris might be right and you might be
right.
It?
Was it
I
Lee
think
Harvey
so.
Oswald?
I think it's Lee Harvey Oswald. Maybe.
Whatever.
It was somebody that killed somebody famous. He just looks like a killer.
You're right. It was Lee Harvey.
Right.
That is funny, though.
So let's say maybe when the 49ers win, we do celebrities Brock Purdy looks like as our but okay. So moving on, we're going to go talk about some prop bets. This is always a very fun aspect of the Super Bowl. This season, I did calculate the time of every national anthem to prepare for the Super Bowl. I will say, at least in Buffalo, our national anthem was generally a minute 38 seconds or less. So I don't know if that's my first analytics I ever gave anyone on this show. So print.
Well, for any of our Patreon subscribers, you would have already hit the over when I predicted that on the line of 41 and a half times that mushrooms would be referenced, that we would break over today. So congratulations to our Patreon subscribers who just passed on that. With the game on the national anthem itself. So who was singing it again? Who is it?
Reba.
Reba. Okay. And so I did a little research on her. She has sang the national anthem at like a big game, a World Series game back in 1993. And back then, her time recording was, I think it was 83 seconds it took her to sing the national anthem. So the line right now is 89 and a half. So you're thinking, all right, with a little bit more time and I guess like what a bigger stage, right? There's no greater stage than the Super Bowl. So I think we're going over, right? I mean, you got to take over a minute and a half on this. So, flyovers and anything else to stall. I just like the over bet. So go over on Reba on the national anthem. That's my lock of the Super Bowl.
I love it. I love it. Great reference. Also, I guess now Ryan's betting that the dome is now going to be broken in Vegas, and you'll see the flyover.
Hey, listen, don't put it past the NFL to do something as useless as a flyover when there's a dome. All right, they put blimps over the dome when what do they do that for? Nobody can see it.
Didn't they do a flyover in LA the one year? And that's a closed roof.
Is it partially open or something?
I feel like there was a year recently with a covered roof where they went to a stationary camera outside and watched the flyover. And it was like, this is peak, American exceptionalism right here, just wallowing in our own crapulence as we watch this flyby for nobody.
AI is so good though. Now they could just put the jet sounds on the big screen and then just do a fake one for the TV. Just jets going. So they could trick us all. They could trick us all with one simple move. I got two funny ones that I've seen. I cannot believe that this is so low. So now I really think it's going to happen. There is a bet you can take that will any player propose to his girlfriend on the field after the game, and it is only 2-1, which means you can literally bet $1,000 and get $500 back if it doesn't happen. That is baffling. So I think somebody has some inside info. I think Casey wins. Kelsey, I know I just said Sam Fran was going to win, but I mean, is Kelsey going to do that? Are they really going to do the Taylor Swift Kelsey thing? I don't know. That is such a low odds. I cannot believe. But maybe people are just going to get tricked on it because all the Swifties are going to want to see it. So a lot of people will bet that it's going to happen. Maybe, but that's weird.
His press conference said he's focused on a different ring, meaning the Super Bowl ring. Also, there is that prop bet of will they show Taylor before Kelsey? Do you guys have any take on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm like, we're not watching.
Yeah. I don't. They're going to show her a lot. I can't wait. I didn't see that number while looking at my research and all today. I don't know what the total over under times she's going to be on screen is. If I had to guess, I bet you they have it at 7.5 from kickoff till end. But I don't know. I haven't seen that number. But yeah, that will be pretty insane. I don't care. I love. I'm not a Swiftie, but I like her and whatever. I'm going to watch her for a little bit, cheer on her boyfriend. I'm fine with it. Why was it no different? It's crazy that we don't think it was anything different. Remember Jessica Simpson and Romo like 20 years ago? Why is it that no one was shitting on her? And she was an idiot.
I'm pro people that have love. And also, the Cowboys she probably, I don't know, poor girl. I don't even know.
I always go tails every year. Every year I bet tails.
Oh.
That's my favorite. Tails never fails, and it turns out it does a lot.
Just about to say, how many times have you won that one, Lou?
turns out it does quite a bit, but yeah.
All right.
Trivia for you guys. Can I do some trivia with you guys?
Sure.
So I got some good Super Bowl trivia. We're gonna start with this. All right. There's been 12 teams that have not won a Super Bowl. We're going to go around. We'll start with the Alley ladies first, and then Ryan, then Plumer. And the 12 teams, let's see if we can get them all without repeating or missing one. If you miss one, you're out. Let's see if you guys can do it. Alley, start with one team that has not won the Super Bowl.
The Buffalo Bills.
Fuck you. Ryan, you're
the Detroit Lions.
Plumer.
The Cleveland Browns.
Good job. Allie.
Cardinals.
Good.
Okay.
Ryan.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Good. Plumer.
The Chargers.
Good. Allie.
Texans.
Good. Ryan.
Titans.
Good. Plumer. Got 4 left.
The I'm panicking. The Yeah, I blew it.
All right. Allie.
Vikings.
Vikings are good. Mura.
Falcons.
Oh.
Falcons are good. Allie. 2 left.
Did someone say the Browns?
Yeah, someone said the Browns.
The
Ryan, do you want to show off the last 2?
Bengals?
Bengals is one of them. I'll
give
Allie that. I'll tell her that. Bengals, and then there's one left.
I know it.
Go ahead. Spit it out. Panthers. Good job. Good job.
Hey,
all right.
Great.
Next question. Which college has produced the most Super Bowl quarterbacks? Just guys that played in the Super Bowl. All right. And I'm gonna give you choices here. Is it A, Alabama, B, California, C, Purdue, or D, Notre Dame? We'll start with Allie.
Is California Cal State or USC?
California is California University.
No.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, California University, not USC, California U. There's
That
Cal State,
sounds
there's Cal State, there's
like
California U. Yeah, there's University of California, Cal State, and USC.
All right, then I'm going to go with Regis Philbin's alma mater and say Notre Dame.
Okay. Ryan.
This is tough. I wanted to say Cal, but I'm going to go with Purdue.
Oh.
Purdue. Ryan. And Plumer.
I was thinking Purdue, but in the interest of a little gamesmanship and trivia, I'm going to go Cal.
And you would be right. So that is the fight. And I had him up, and I'm not going to sit here and make you wait for him. But Rogers is the first one that comes to mind. But there was 6 altogether, and Alabama, Purdue, and Notre Dame all had 5. So they're just a little bit ahead. But I maybe by the end of the show I could come up with that list. But that was good. Plumer's leading there. Who to this day has been paid the most for their halftime performance? A, Michael Jackson, B, Justin Timberlake, C, Bruno Mars, or D, Rihanna? Allie, we'll start with you.
I've heard that singers don't get any money. They just get residuals from music sales after. So let's go with Rihanna.
Hey, Ellie, why don't you just shut up and you fucked up the whole thing because it was a trick question and no one gets paid for that. So, but you messed it up. That's what you win the whole game because you've got that. The trick questions, you can't get them by you, Ellie. Look at you. Yes.
No, I think everyone knew that. So Ryan and Chris knew that.
Did you know that? All three
I
of you knew
did.
that?
Yeah, I remember it was whatever happened. I think it was whatever right before the first Super Bowl halftime show with Michael Jackson, because I think there was some concert going on the year before, and it like drew a bunch of the people over to that at halftime. I think the competing network, stole a bunch of viewers, and then the NFL was like, "Yeah, that's never happening again. We're gonna have Michael Jackson perform at the Super Bowl." So I think that's why it started. So yeah, I did hear that. So
all right, couple more quick ones. What's more, the amount of pounds of guacamole served on Super Bowl Sunday across the nation, or the population of Houston, Texas? I didn't mean to be as racist. I didn't mean to be as racist as I feel like I was with Houston. I didn't need to go Houston. I know it feels very close to Mexico, but that's not what I meant.
Am I going first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go population.
Population.
It's going to be like the difference of like 13 avocados. Like it's going to. So I'm going to go guac. Let's go guac here.
Okay. And Chris.
If you wanted a slightly more racist way to ask that question, Lou, it would be, what is the pound of guac per capita in Houston? I'm going to go with the guac.
Okay. Houston, Texas has 2.2 million people in it. And the amount of pounds of guac, 8 million pounds of guacamole are served every Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know who is doing this research. I feel like this is not being checked.
You don't have somebody coming over to your house and weighing all of your food?
No, I do feel like it's funny if there was just like it's just one added thing that what are the TV people? What are they? The ratings, Nielsen. It's just one extra question that Nielsen puts out. It's like, how much guacamole did you have this year?
And don't lie or we'll know.
All right, one more quick question. We'll move on. 9 out of the top 10 television shows of all time have best rated television shows of all time have been Super Bowls. What is the one that is not a Super Bowl? And I'm not giving you any choices.
What Super Bowls?
So the 10 best rated entertainment television shows, and we're counting Super Bowl as television show here, have all been Super Bowls. 9 out of the top 10. There's one in that top 10 that is not a Super Bowl. What was it?
I think I know this.
Wait, a TV show that was top after?
Just in the top 10 rated shows of all time. The top 9 of the top 10 are Super Bowls. Like that's like most watched shows are. And then there's one specific show that is in the top 10.
Right, I'm going to be dark.
Do we need to know specifically what episode of that show it was?
Yes.
Ryan, are you looking?
Ryan feels confident. Ryan feels confident. Let him go last.
Okay, I'm going to say the O.J. Simpson verdict.
Very good, and it's in there. It did count as like it's in like the top 20. So you were wrong, anyways. I like that you get it, but I would not have counted that even if it wasn't the top 10 because it was a news article. And we're talking entertainment only because there are 2 other news things in the top 10. But just think entertainment alone. Go ahead, Plumer.
The series finale of MASH.
That's it. And Ryan knew it.
I knew Ryan knew it too. We should have gone on 3.
That was it. All right. 1, 2, 3. Ryan, I knew Ryan knew it, so that's good. All right. That was my big game trivia. And
good job, Lou.
Let's move on here quickly. Sorry. We're like going long because Chris has got food poisoning. Quickly, I spent way too much time. I spent way too much time on this today. I watched every halftime performance there is. today. So why don't we just all Ryan, you just favorite, least favorite. We could go that simple to move it along.
I didn't like rank them all the way down to like least favorite. I think the best performance was Prince. I think that's easily the number one. And then I think my second might actually be Beyonce and 2013, Beyonce and Destiny's Child. I thought that was cool. Just a lot of throwbacks. So those are probably my top two.
It's in my top, and Prince,
yeah.
I can understand why Prince is the top for you. He's not for me personally. Mine is Michael Jackson, just because I am a big MJ fan, and it was a Bills game, and all that stuff was cool. So he's up there. It's hard to beat I really like the NSYNC, Britney, Aerosmith, Mary J. Blige, Nelly. Like, that was great. Shakira and J-Lo, like, that was, I think that was 2020, right? I think but if that was in the age of prior to accessible internet things to watch, that would have been something for me. That is the hottest, the sexiest one. It was so well done. Those two are two of my favorite women in the world. They know how to dance. They know how to sing. It was great. So those are like my top three. My least favorite was I like Coldplay was one. Maroon 5 the one year was like brutal. You know where it went way downhill? And I like some of these bands, but as soon as Janet flipped her nipple, for like 4 or 5 years, they had to be like, we got to pull back. we got to get boring again. And it was like The Who and Rolling Stones and who else?
McCartney, Macca did it. Yeah, I like classic rock, so I love the Stones and I love Macca. I thought Katy Perry was great.
Katy Perry was great.
Yes.
Katy Perry was great.
Agreed.
Katy Perry was really good because she had some other people went in on her too.
Missy Elliott,
Evans, and Missy Elliott.
Yep. And Left Shark.
Yeah.
All right, Katy Perry fan. We got.
No, it was great. That's on my list. And one other shout out too, Lady Gaga's. I thought was awesome.
Lady Gaga, yes.
Yep. Gaga.
Lady Gaga. And also Rihanna last year was great, but yeah. So sorry, Usher, none of us will be watching your performance. Who's your favorite piece of all the classic rock legends? Who did you not like? Who did you not like out of all the classic rocks?
I think my least favorite was the one where it was like right after what was the one right after it? The Paul McCartney one was like I love the Beatles. I don't like Paul McCartney post Beatles just because it's like, dude, those are your friends, and you're just because you're the only one living. That's
not even true. Ringo's still alive, you monster.
Yeah, but he's not singing with them. Why does he get to sing "Let It Be"?
Because he's the drummer.
Why does Paul McCartney get to sing? What's poor Ringo doing right now? Where's he at? He's not performing Beatles songs. You know, when he performed the Beatles song in the city of Buffalo on the rooftop. That was where Ringo was.
He's literally his all-star band. Literally released the word. Still has his all-star band. So I'm like a massive.
Listen, I'll just tell you right now. If you all die, I'm going to continue the podcast. And you guys are just going to be 2 AI boxes for the rest of the way. Plumer, do you have any halftime stuff that you want to?
Okay. First off, Prince #1, absolutely. And you're an idiot when you say that the Shakira J-Lo was the sexiest halftime of all time, because Prince made love to a guitar in the gentle rain in Miami. Okay, that is the greatest performance of all time. That's neither here nor there. All right, Lady Gaga is up there. I want to throw an honorable mention to the first COVID Super Bowl, The Weeknd performing by himself a 20-minute set with no background dancers, no band. It was just him out there on the field all by his lonesome, carrying it by himself. Honorable mention for that, even though I'm not a super big fan. And the absolute worst of all time had to be the Justin Timberlake solo performance at halftime. It was brutal.
I hate you for that. I hate
it
you for
was
that.
He can't dance anymore. He can't sing.
Dude, I am gonna lose my shit. Like, no one talks bad about JT around here.
I do.
My ex gave me a list of 5 people I can sleep with anytime I wanted that were celebrities. I just wrote his name down 5 times. That is, JT is the shit around here, and I'm not taking any kind of bashing. I love all the I got 3 JTs. He's the only one that's done it 3 times. He's been in 3 different.
And he was good in 2 of them.
He's amazing. Go ahead.
This is
Ellie.
what you get for shitting on the Beatles. Okay. Since it's the big game this weekend, we are going to talk about everyone's favorite thing about this game, which is the commercials. We're going to draft our top 4 favorite commercials. I might be using Google once my choices are immediately gone, but I know, Louis, you're going to do our magic.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I'm going to figure out where I put my...
Ryan number 1, Chris number 2, Allie number 3, Louis number 4. Great. I don't know if I have 4 written down.
Yeah, I was like, where did he go?
Well, I have some in the back of my head, but we're ready to go. So number 1, Ryan, what's the best of all time? This is going to be. I'm interested to know where you go.
Yeah, this is tough. I have it in a certain order right now. There's 2 that I think I'm considering right now, and I'm going to flip it on my list because I think if I think about these, one just stands out as reigning supreme, and that is Terry Tate, Office linebacker. It's just like such a good like script and plot, and like the concept of bringing in a linebacker to increase productivity in your office it's just like, it's one of those timeless commercials. And some of the lines, like, after he hits the one guy and he's like, "Hi, Gloria," like, it just completely changes his tone. It's very good.
Hold on,
but I'm a firm believer in paradigm breaking, outside the box thinking.
Hey, buddy.
10 minutes ago, Mitch! And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%. We're getting more from our employees than ever before.
You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard. That ain't new, baby.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice.
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family.
Yeah, baby.
He fits right in here.
That's a long distance call, Doug.
To be honest,
I love it. And it also, like, the fact that it brings football into it too. It's not, Well,
look, I think it meets the test of time, right? Like, just, it still hits. Like, it's still funny to me now watching it. So, I watched a bunch of these today in preparation, and that was the one that just stood out as like, damn, this is still funny. This is still good.
Yeah, I like that. All right, number 2. Did we go Chris? Right.
Okay, I'm going with an absolute classic for all of the big gambling heads out there. We're going back to 1994, Super Bowl 28. That's right, I'm talking Bud Bowl 6, Mike Ditka versus Bum Phillips. All right, we introduced the Bud Light can, who scored a touchdown in his premier game and then got ejected. Bud Light wins it 20-14 over Budweiser. What an absolute classic. My dad lost his kneecaps because he bet on Bud Bowl that year. What a time to be alive.
I totally forgot about Bud Bowl. Did not even get to it today in my research. And man, it should be the top 4 picks. It's what I look forward to. Like, it was the best part of the game sometimes. It's great.
They had like a 10-year run of Bud Bowls. It was insane.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and watch those really high later. That's going to be great. All right. Allie, 3.
I'm glad Ryan is on the podcast. I'm glad Chris is, because I know you guys are picking random weird ones. So basic ones. So I'm very, very happy with this. I loved the FedEx Castaway one. That was great. I mean, and then you got to see the guy. Do you have this video on hand, Lou? Or?
Yeah. I'll get it. Keep keep going.
But I love that you find out what was in the box, which was such a cliffhanger in the movie, and what a spoiler! So great commercial.
I got it right here. Let's do that. This one's.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
Hi.
I was marooned on an island for 5 years with this package. And I swore that I would deliver it to you because I work for FedEx.
That's very admirable. Thank you.
Hey, but by the way, what's in the package?
Nothing really. Just a satellite phone, GPS locator, fishing rod, water purifier, and some seeds. Just silly stuff. Thank you again. You keep up the good work.
That's so good.
That's
really good.
Very good. Yeah.
All right. I have one ready to roll, I think. Let's see here. I'm just going back to the Bud Bowl stuff. This one here is going to be my first hitting white one. This is so funny.
Mike, come on! Mike, what is your deal, man?
Come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Feeling like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby.
Whoa.
Eat Snickers. Better?
Better. I'm all bet! That hurt.
You're not.
That was good. And then I don't think I need to show I think everybody knows this. I don't have to show the video, but the Jordan Bird ones are just so good. The ones where off the backboard, they're on the rafters. They're just, those commercials were so cool. And I think maybe they were only Super Bowl commercials, but I feel like the first one started a commercial, then maybe like a year they kept on doing them, and it just got more and more ridiculous each time. And both guys have decent personalities. They were like the biggest names in the game. Those count as my top two for sure.
Like it.
That was on my that was my next on the list, Lou. So that's why I didn't say I was glad you were on this draft. We would have similar picks. So then my second pick is the classic one from 1999, the Budweiser. What's up?
That's
so see, Allie, you think that we don't have the same taste. That was the one that I thought that was originally the number one on my list. I think that's the greatest. That might be the greatest commercial.
I think it might be the best commercial one.
It's such a great annoying. We all did it.
Bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie! Yo. What's up? What's that?
So dumb. I love it.
I can't. How long did all of us in our friend groups, do like? It took like 2 years after relevance. I think I was still doing what's up. I really beat that into the ground.
It was on keychains and like those weird 2 for $10 shirts at Walgreens for years. Like it was just really a cultural phenomenon. So
that's good. Back to me? No. Yeah.
No.
No.
Is it
Oh,
right?
it's to me. This time around, we are going to go with a .com era classic. I believe this was 2002 for a logistics company called EDS, and it was Herding Cats was the commercial where they had like a City Slickers style cowboy group herding millions of cats across the desert, and it's like the manliest men cowboys and just these little tiny kittens running around, and it's the dumbest commercial I've ever seen in my life, and it's fantastic.
It is. I got it.
Don't let anybody tell you it's easy.
Anybody can herd cattle. Holding together 10,000 half-wild short hairs, so that's another thing altogether. Being a cat herder is probably about the toughest thing I think I've ever done.
I got this one this morning, right here. And if you look at his face, it's just ripped to shreds, you know?
You see the movies, you hear the stories. I'm living a dream. Not everyone can do what we do.
I wouldn't do nothing else.
It ain't an easy job, but when you bring a herd into town and you ain't lost a one of them, ain't a feeling like it in the world.
My favorite part is when he
what?
My favorite part is when he's got the lint roller.
Over the broken arm.
No, I like when he says the one. He's like, this one's got a real scratched up face.
So good. All right, Ryan for 2.
All right, so I'm not going to get my number one Budweiser commercial pick because Allie wisely took it 2 picks ago. But I will get the next best Budweiser commercial, in my opinion, which is the Budweiser Frogs commercial from 1995. It's just a classic because I think it's a brilliant, actually, like marketing design because, you're listening to the game, right? You're watching the game and then it cuts out and you hear crickets, right? And so it's going to draw your attention and it's just like a peaceful commercial. And, it's just, I think it's pretty good. It's very simple, but it's good.
Yeah, I like
that. That was
I think we can replicate it probably just as good as playing it again. So we'll skip that.
Yeah.
My next one is the Volkswagen commercial from 2012, the Force. I don't like the tear jerkers too much. That one with the Google one, or the one where you're talking about like your wife and the dementia thing. Like, I don't want to be, don't make me sad. I want, but this one's just, it's clever and it's heartwarming, and it's a kid who's like trying to walk around as Darth Vader and like get stuff to work using the Force, and nothing works. And then his dad gets home in a Volkswagen, some Jetta or something, and he gets in the car and the kid's standing out there and he like makes the motion and the guy clicks or turns the remote start on. And it's just good. It's a simple commercial, but pretty good.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, and
it's
I
so
like
good.
that.
Those were both on my. Ryan, come on, you're killing me.
And you thought you were going to be happy to have me in this draft. I'm just you're wrong.
Plumer, back to you.
Okay, is this the last pick, or is there one more after this?
One more. This is your third pick, so you got 2.
Okay. Okay, well, Allie, stay happy that I'm in this draft because we're swerving again. Okay, we're going back to 2007, way back, pre-Obama America. Times are tough, okay? We're on the verge of a housing crisis. The national psyche is low. And General Motors releases a commercial about a little robot that works in a factory. And this robot one day drops a screw. And General Motors says, "You can't build our cars anymore, robot. Hit the bricks." And this robot, in this declining economy, cannot find a job and decides to jump off of the expressway and kill itself. The commercial aired twice during the Super Bowl, once during, I think it was the second commercial break after kickoff, and once after halftime, and then it disappeared.
Forever.
Forever.
That's great. I don't know if I remember that one, and now I'm gonna have to. I can't find it right now, but I will look it up after the show. So
it was very sad.
All right, so I need to get this one because Allie's probably mad because this one, it's probably going to be one you want, but it's for the votes. I don't know if this is like one of my favorite of all time.
It's me though, right? I go. What? Or you're taking my spot?
No, it's me and then you.
No, you're last, Lou, because you did back to back.
Shit,
now
sorry.
I know what you're gonna do, so I'm gonna do it for the vote. I'm picking. I hope this is the right one. I'm picking Cindy Crawford, Pepsi.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, that's go ahead. Tell us about it. I know exactly the one you're talking about. The time machine or whatever. Not the time machine.
The 90s. She's beautiful as a model. She just drank Pepsi, and then that was like she got $40 million for it. But good for her. Like, I don't know.
Are you thinking of the Britney Spears one, Lou?
No, there's one with Cindy Crawford where they put her in a machine.
Put her in a tank.
A tank and Pepsi
deprivation.
And she comes
Kramer's in it.
Yeah.
Well, knowing how Louis is going to make his draft on Twitter, he's going to write Cindy Crawford Pepsi, so it doesn't matter. I get all the Cindy Crawford.
I'm going to show all of the commercials in full blast when I do this.
For Chris's, it's just going to be like the suicide one.
Don't vote for him. He was all right, I've got my last two here. I'm going to go. Because I couldn't choose between these, I hate that I'm going, Bud Light heavy here or Bud heavy, but the original Bud Clydesdale commercials is, it's going to get me votes. It's not the best, but it led to 20 years of commercials about the same thing, and it needs to be on someone's team, so it's going to be on mine because, you know me, I'm Mr. Pandering to the crowd, right, Chris? And, and then the
Dougie, Lou.
The other one is the Bud Light commercial where like the Falcon goes. It's like the guy with a pet Falcon talking to two hot girls, and he's like, "Watch what my Falcon can do." And he sends him out the window, and he keeps coming back with a Bud Light. She's like, "Wow." Like they're like, that's really cool. They're like, where do you think he gets them from? He's like, I don't know. And then they show the Falcon like coming into a restaurant, everybody running, like it's coming in. I love it. I laugh so hard every time I see it. So that's I like that one. And I'm not a Bud drinker, so I don't like that I got two Bud commercials there, but I think that they'll help me with the audience.
And just being a PR cover-up, Budweiser, if you're willing to sponsor our podcast, Analytics for the please reach out to me or Ryan. So I think my dog does not like your picks, but I'm going to go with the M&M commercials. They were so good. There's so many to choose from, but I'm going to do the one where it's brown M&M shows up and is like they thought she was naked because her chocolate is the same color, and then the other M&M like takes off his shell, and it's funny. It's a little naughty. So I'm going to say M&M.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. All right.
It was also Tucker Carlson's favorite commercial.
That guy. So good. Plumer.
All right. Out here. The steal of the draft for me, baby. We're going back to another Bills Super Bowl, 1992. Okay. We have the voice of a new generation, Ray Charles, singing for Diet Pepsi. You got the right one, baby. Okay. Reenacted in Rookie of the Year. This is an iconic commercial that made it all the way to the fourth round, and I will hang my hat on that. Thank you.
That's very good.
So to take us home here, the last pick, I debating going, the nostalgia, like classic commercial that I don't think is like that great, or one that I think is actually funny and pretty good. That's the Keep Your Hands Off My Doritos commercial in 2010.
Yeah.
It's, Doritos has had a couple of like pretty good ones. I can remember from about like 10 or 15 years ago. But that was one of the good ones. So I'll pick that as my last pick.
That's the one with the little kid where it's like, keep your hands off my mama. Keep your hands off my Dorito. Yeah, that's great. That's really good.
Excellent. Well, there's also the Ali Landry Doritos. There's so many good ones, but if we had a fifth pick, but that was great. Chris Plumer, thank you so much for joining us this week. We are glad you did not get sick while on our.
We made it.
Our long show. You are a comic. Any shows coming up in the area or out of the area you want to talk about.
There
it is.
He just lost it.
I'm trying, Lou. Wednesday, April 3rd at Helium Comedy Club. It's a concept show I came up with. It's called This Better Be Good. It's the only show where you are allowed to heckle, comment, interrupt. There's all kinds of fun and games with it. If you add to the show, we shower you with praise. If you take things off the rails, we shame you publicly. It's a lot of fun. It's April 3rd. I only put good comics on it, so it's going to be a great show.
Is that why I haven't been asked to do it?
Lou, I wouldn't even invite you to be in the audience on that show.
So if you are a person who your coworkers think are funny and you're the funny guy, go to the show, support local comedy, and I can say that Chris is extremely funny. So that's a great show. Congrats on it. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me here.
I would love to promo my show on February 17th in Canandaigua, one which both of you have now turned me down to open for. Am I that unlikable? You guys, I'm trying to pay you both to come with me to open for me. But yeah, I'll be maybe Ryan. Maybe I could talk you into coming, Ryan. I haven't even decided yet. You don't have to open. You can just come hang out with me. We'll hang out in Canandaigua. And I'll take you to the town.
February 6th draft, February 17th.
Oh yeah, February 17th. The BR Pub with I don't know what I don't know if it's a huge place, but I know that I'm gonna be talking for a long time.
We've got a lot of listener in Canandaigua.
I think your Canandaigua might be pretty big.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have fun watching the big game this weekend, the commercials, the Usher, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in to Analytics Are for the Nerds.